Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about care assistant interview questions. I'm going to be sharing an insight as to what you should be thinking when you hear a question and how to answer it. I'm ready for this. If you're ready, let's begin. But before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel, share it, comment and like. This is going to be an encouragement for me to do more content for you. So let's get right into interview questions. So the first one that I'm going to go through this really quickly. Pause it if you wish, but I will go through this really quickly. How do you build rapport with a new client? So as a healthcare assistant, it's your job to develop a professional relationship with all clients you meet, and it's important to do so quickly. So this question is seeking to understand what's your approach, how do you do it? So my answer would be, when I work with new clients, I spend my first few visits taking time to get to know them. Finding out what's important to them is a great way to motivate them. I also learn their routines, habits, and preferences. How do you ensure you maintain a friendly nature when helping your clients? So this question is evaluating your ability to self-regulate your client's mood when working with them. My answer would be, it can be challenging, especially when working with critical ill clients, but I approach each client as an individual and focus on my role as a care assistant. Thinking about how I can support the client I'm working with currently helps me to stay positive. Next question. Describe a time when a client didn't want help from you. So this question is evaluating your ability to helping a client when they're refusing care. My answer would be, sometimes accepting help is difficult for some clients. For example, I had a client who didn't want to lose his independence and saw my role as a care assistant as his personal failure. It was only by asking questions and having a heartfelt conversation that I could convince him to let me help. You notice a regular client is behaving strangely. How do you handle the situation? So this question is seeking to understand your ability to handle uncertain situations. My answer to this would be, when I observe a client acting differently, I engage with them more to make an assessment. I ask probing questions to determine if something happened or if they're upset about something. If I can't identify a healthcare concern, I make a note of it in my records and let my supervisor know. So this is really good because it's testing your ability to notice a change in behavior, in mood, in anything. It's really to do with how you observe your clients. Next question. Do you take part in any professional development that expands your knowledge and skills as a care assistant? So this question is really looking at your personal development. How invested are you in your job? How invested are you in knowing more? So my answer would be, I take part in professional development as often as possible. I ensure to renew my first aid and CPR certificates regularly. I also enjoy attending conferences and workshops to learn new care techniques and communication skills. I know that by developing my skills, I can better serve my clients. So next question, what process do you follow to maintain dignity when performing personal care routine, such as bathroom support? So again, this question is looking at your approach and how you maintain dignity with your clients. My answer would be, when completing personal care routines, I always involve the client by asking questions about their preferences. I continue talking to them and keeping eye contact through the process to ease any discomfort. I also stay lighthearted and patient, and I'm a matter of fact about the task so they don't feel embarrassed. So that's the key, not making the patient feel embarrassed. Next question. Describe a time when a client wasn't able to communicate verbally. So this is seeking to understand if you can improvise, if you understand that people have different forms of communication. So a simple answer would be, I've printed pictures, food pictures, so that I can help my client choose my client that doesn't talk, choose the food, choose their favorite foods by printing pictures. And that's really a simple answer to that. Next question. How do you maintain a professional relationship with your client? So again, this question is just seeking to see whether you can maintain a professional relationship with the clients, and if they are aggressive, if they are challenging, if they are really nice, how do you respond to them? So you can pick any of those scenarios and talk about them. So my example answer would be, I always feel empathy and compassionate for the people I help. So sometimes it's hard not to get attached to my client. I'm dedicated to providing the best support to everyone I assist, which helps me remain objective and professional. Why do you choose to follow a career path as a care assistant? So this question is seeking to understand your motivation to being a care assistant. It's seeking to understand, do you understand fully what's involved in this job? Have you thought about it? So my answer would be, when my grandmother became ill, she needed home care. I saw how impactful a care assistant was in her recovery. This experience has inspired me to research this career as an option for myself. After spending time with a care assistant assigned to my grandmother and asking questions about their job, I decided I wanted to pursue the career, so I applied for the training program. Again, this is showing that you're aware of what's involved, and you've understood fully what the job is all about, and you really want to work as a healthcare assistant. Next question. Imagine your client has had an accident while you're with them. What do you do? Again, this question is testing to see how you respond to unexpected situation. My example answer would be, how I handle this situation depends on the accident. If the client had injured themselves visibly or had fallen, I would immediately contact my supervisor. If I could tend to the injury myself, I would do so. In more serious medical emergencies, I would call 999 and care for the patient until the ambulance arrive. What training have you completed that prepares you to be a care assistant? This is just seeking to understand qualifications, your background. My simple answer would be, I completed a care certificate program with this company last year. This training prepared me with solid foundations, so I can with the basic duties and responsibilities. I also received hands-on training during my attachment in hospital. It's a simple question that just needs a simple answer. What form of record keeping are you familiar with as an assistant? So this is a question that wants to determine whether you are aware of different ways of record keeping. So I would talk about paper-based and electronic-based. So in this, my example answer would be, I've used several programs of managing clients' record. So when I used this program, when I worked for the hospital, I made sure that it's password protected. Only people who have cared to that client or patient had access to the password. The records that we kept on paper, they were locked in a cupboard, and we had keys, so no one could access it unless you're looking after that patient. So you're showing the knowledge and the privacy around record keeping and how important it is to keep it private. So next question, how do you handle confidential information in your position as a care assistant? This is seeking to evaluate your ability to handle confidential information appropriately. So my answer would be all information that I learn or discover about a client remains confidential. I keep appropriate records and documents as required by the electronic medical record system. Any discussions I have about a client are only with my supervisor or anyone attending to medical needs of the patient. What duties as a care assistant do you enjoy least? So this is my advice to you is I wouldn't pick something that's core to healthcare. So I would pick something like this. This is my answer. The duties I enjoy the least are housekeeping duties, such as laundry and vacuuming. I feel that I do this in my own home, and it's something I don't enjoy at home as well. Another question. So when you get least, you know that you're going to get one that talks about the most. So anyway, another question. What is the most essential quality of an excellent care? This question is looking to evaluate, is looking to understand your opinion on what you consider to be a quality skill or a quality that is important for a healthcare assistant. So it can be worded, what do you think is the most important skill that a healthcare assistant should have? My answer is I feel the most important quality of being an excellent care assistant is communication. Communication is the underlying quality of so many other skills. It allows me to build rapport with the client, gather important information about them, and learn their preferences. It also helps me build rapport and trust. I guess that's it. That's it for my video. If you want me to go through more interview questions, do let me know and I'll be able to do that. Thank you so much for tuning in.